Welcome to today's interesting topic. The topic is my usual ego state and the healthy ways out. We already know we have three main ego states: parent, adult, and the child. And there are subdivisions functionally for these ego states. And in which ego state, from which ego state do I usually function? When I am stressed, what is the ego state from which I am delivering my responses? So, into that topic, welcome one and all. So let us go to the contents. Contents are number one, we will talk about the three ego states. Then we already know it is PAC model: parent, adult, child. The triad responses, triad we already know, the triangle, which is thinking, feeling, and behaving. That is the foundation of everything. And from each ego state, what is the thinking and what is the behaving, what is the feeling like? Let's observe, let's evaluate. Third one is the functional types. Each ego state except the adult is divided into a few types. So what are they? Let us see. Also, if we are stuck in any particular ego state, what is the healthy way to get out of it? So into the three ego states, which ego state is this? Very evident. Child ego state. By the way, do we need a child in us? Or do we just need an adult? We don't need a child. We already became an adult and we don't need a child. Is it that way? No, we need a child. Why? All enjoyment comes from child ego state. So if we have to enjoy life, we need this very important ego state. This ego state has all the recorded information of emotions and experiences. Everything is recorded and stored and kept there. So based on these recordings, we might behave in a particular way. So that means when we are thinking, understanding, and feeling from a child ego state, what happens? Let's see. The thinking will be zero. That means it is a child ego state. So any incident, any event happens, immediately it goes into feeling. And the feeling is not constant, it keeps fluctuating. Behavior will be impulsive behavior. That means, see, we do not have thinking here. An event happened, just jumping into conclusion or instantly feeling something and then behaving. So we have only two aspects here initially. Once the emotion subsides, the thinking will come, and then there can be guilt. Why I behaved in such a way? Why I responded in that way? Initially, it is only feeling and behavior. And feeling, we know authentic feelings are happiness, sadness, anger, fear. It can be authentic feelings or it can be something called as racket feelings. Let us talk about that later, sometime later in some other session. So whatever it is, we know we have many emotions. So accordingly will be our behavior. When I'm happy, I will be showing out my happiness. When I am sad, I will be in that. It is evident. I do not know how to get rid of it, or all my behavior will be from that sadness mode. That means just go back to your childhood and see how did you get things done from your parents. Were you being sad, crying all the while, and then persuading them to do something for you? Or were you rebellious, fighting, quarrelsome, giving back answers? Why this ego state is important is we all carry this ego state in us with the recordings. So when a stress situation comes, we might go to that child. So I might be 40 years old or 30 years old or 20 years old, and I might respond to a stressful situation like a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old or a 10-year-old. So unless and until those emotion loaded memories are deleted or decoded, when stressed, there is a high chance that we go back to that age, and our response will not be age appropriate. So that is the importance of knowing this ego state. And behavior, how to find out if we are behaving from this ego state? We will be impulsive. We will be like emotion loaded talks, or when something comes out from the mouth, when stressed, it will be like it is evident for the other person that in the voice there will be sadness or anger. And how is the body language? It can be like a happy child, or it can be like a frightened, fearful look, or it can be angry look if it is a rebellious child. So that is about this thinking, feeling, and behavior from this ego state. Next, we will see the second ego state, parental ego state. Yeah. Parent means how we were brought up, who all created an impact in our lives. It can be parents or parental figures, elderly people, teachers, and what did we knowingly or unknowingly learn from them. All the knowledge that we gathered, all the learned responses, all the copied behavior, all the borrowed standards, everything is there in the parent ego state. So do we need to have this ego state? Yes, we need to have a sense of right and wrong, and to do the right things, we definitely need the parental ego state. This will help us to lead life in a beautiful way. Here, it is not the emotions that is bothering, but it is the thinking. When we understand things from the parent ego state, our thinking will be critical. Remember absolutistic thinking? Shoulds and musts? Yeah, this is that category who uses those words more frequently than anybody else. Thinking will also be judgmental. There is no understanding, blame game. And then, see, this behavior, the thinking is because they are not bad people as such. Their whole intention is to correct others. My way is the right way because I learned all these things. This is the only right way, as if others do not have parents, or they were not brought up by parental figures. My right is the only right, and you need to follow it. So what will be their feeling? They will be stressed and anxious most of the time. Why? Because I have the responsibility to correct others. Others are not correcting themselves. By some way or the other, I have to correct them. See, the intention is good, but do we need that much? Behavior is to correct others. Then we will go to the third ego state, that is adult ego state. Yeah, who is more intelligent, children or adults? There is a category called little professor. Yeah, mimics the adults, but intelligent is always the adult. Why? Because the adult can use both ego states, the child and the parent. That is called an integrated adult. Even otherwise, adult is intelligent, adult is authentic. Adult responds in the present, here and now, with awareness. How does this come? How does this adult behave? Adults, when we are understanding things from an adult ego state, we will gather all information and then we try to process it. We try to discuss with some people and then weigh the pros and cons and then ask so many questions: how, why, where, when, what, and then understand the whole thing from all angles and get a clear picture. Then comes the solution part. That is the beauty of this adult ego state. Mistakes are less likely to happen because nothing is missed out. So that is the adult ego state. It is excellent to reach here because the next step is this adult can progress to an integrated adult, which can use all the ego states very, very effectively. So next is, yeah, how is the thinking? Non-judgmental. How is the feeling? Appropriate to the situation. Of course, the adults, when working from adult ego state, we will experience all the emotions: sadness, anger, fear, happiness, but that will be appropriate and that will be easily expressed. Behavior is very, very responsible behavior. There is courage, and what has to be done in the right way, in the right time, to the right person, everything will be taken care of by this adult ego state. Yeah. Child ego state functional types. We have the rebellious child here. As the term suggests, very, very evident, the child is not obedient. The child gives back answers, responds negatively, maybe forces parents to get his or her things done. And the other one is compliant child. See, the head is down. Means somebody is threatening me and I'm just obeying. In the mind, maybe I'm cursing, maybe I'm crying. But outside, it is like, yes, boss. The head is bent. Not a good place to be. Then we have the free child. See, happy, spontaneous, jovial, fully in the present. Again, free child too much is not good. Actually, the best in at this child ego state is the free child, but too much of free child, we call it as negative free child or not okay free child. That means there can be a tendency to go into extramarital affairs or into addiction, something like rash driving, trying out new things, because pre-child mode is enthusiastic, energetic mode, full of energy. So negative free child can be problematic. So free child, we need to have the free child. We need to release the person from all the past baggage and enjoy the freedom. At the same time, that should be under the intervention of adult ego state. Yeah. Next is the little professor. We already said it mimics the adult. It is very sharp and smart. It knows how to find instant solutions, not coming from a thoughtful evaluation or a systematic process, but it just from nowhere it gets an answer, it finds its own way. So that is the little professor. Parent ego state functional types, we have the critical parent. Yeah, pointing finger, blaming. This all is critical parent. Very evident in the body language. They will be like very strict. They don't smile more. They always have that angry look. All the responsibility is on me. If I have to be a responsible family person, I have to control everything. See, this is a critical parent. Do we need all these critical parent? Yes, we need. But again, here we have the positive and we have the negative. Same with the case of nurturing parent. Yeah, this is interesting. When the critical parent blames and threatens to get things done, the nurturing parent is the opposite. It is pampering, it is accepting unconditionally, loving unconditionally, caring. Again, sorry. Its negative is it can go to a state where there is complete exhaustion. So nurturing parent gives advices, recommendations, suggestions like anything, to the extent of killing a person with words. Always giving, guiding, as if the listener doesn't know. I know everything and this is my way. I will bombard you with all the suggestions and do's and don'ts, but in a loving way. So that is also, yeah, if it is positive, it is well and good. If it is negative, we need to make it to positive. Yeah, so what are the healthy ways out? So there are 6 ego states. PAC, P into 2. CP, controlling parent. NP, nurturing parent. Adult, no divisions because it is here and now in this moment. Child, we have adapted child, AC, and free child, FC. Adapted child is of 2 types. RC, rebellious child, and CC, compliant child. So far, so good. Hope it is clear. Now, if we are stuck in the parent ego state, meaning if all our responses come from the parental ego state, it is not our own behavior, it is copied behavior. We are just taking it without evaluating. So the problem with parental ego state is we can be irrational and we do not even know that. Our attitudes can be irrational behavioral attitudes. So if you are a CP, CP means controlling parent. If you are a CP, evaluate it whether it is negative or positive. If it is negative, move to positive. How to evaluate that? Let's see in the next slide. If you are a negative, NP means nurturing parent, move to positive NP. If you are mostly in RC or CC, shift to FC. RC is rebellious child, CC is compliant child, FC is free child. And constantly work on adult ego state. Yeah. Negative CP, positive CP. Negative CP, blaming, threatening, verbal abuse, discounting, or looking down upon others, or like feeling they are low because my way is a highway. No? I am right always. So the when in parental ego state, we have a strong sense of right and wrong, which is good if it is based on our own standards. If it is borrowed standards and I'm still having the behavior of my parents without evaluating, that means I am stuck in this parental mode. Parental mode is good, but everything has to pass through the analysis of the adult ego state. Yeah. So how to shift from negative CP to positive CP is by enhancing NP. That is the way it works. We don't focus on bringing down the negative CP. We work on the nurturing parent. So in the process, what happens is we move from negative CP to positive CP, which is instead of blaming, we will support them, we will help them to progress. Yeah, controlling parent, as we say always, the intention is good. It is to protect the family, protect the community. Instead of verbal abuse, it can be motivating words. Discounting, instead of looking down upon others, it will be like valuing others. So this is an art the negative CP needs to learn, because the intention of the controlling parent is good, but the way is not right. It brings stress to both parties, the person who is saying and the person who is receiving, and there is not much benefit when you are in controlling parent mode, because lifelong you have to keep telling the same things and nobody listens to you. So shift to positive CP if you are in negative CP. Yeah, negative NP. We said nurturing parent is good. The parent is doing everything unconditionally, loving and caring and affectionate. Everything is so good about that. Usually mother means, this is the image we have about mother. Forgiving, kind, compassionate. What happens if we go to negative or not okay nurturing parent? There is no rest for such a person, cannot say no to anything. Whatever work comes, okay, that also okay, because I understand everyone. And then I end up exhausted. I cannot say no. So soft and so kind that cannot say no, cannot set healthy boundaries. So health can be affected. Overly doing, overly responsible. Positive CP is when I set my own boundaries, I am having all the benefits of positive qualities about nurturing parent, and I'm not exhausted. See what a beautiful place to be. So there is understanding, reassurance, acceptance, and being in NP means we support for a good cause. How to enhance NP? Yeah, this will take care of CP. If controlling parent is dominating and we don't want that, just enhance NP. So what are the 4 ways? Give and take strokes. Hope you remember what we mean by strokes. Strokes means psychological touch. Positive, negative, conditional, unconditional. We talked a lot about that. So give and take strokes. Taking strokes is not easy when you're in CP mode. So when you get a compliment, take it with gratitude. Just accept it, because a person is giving you compliment means there is something in that. And don't worry, you will be able to recognize if it is a genuine compliment. If not, you can reject it. But otherwise, try taking strokes and give positive strokes on a regular basis. And then socialize with friends. So we get to see many people, many angles, and flexibility becomes easier. And yeah, and nurturing parent means finding time for the self. not just doing, being with with one's own self, with the persons whom one loves. So socializing very important for NP. And then be part of groups or clubs, engage in some other activities as well, help others because this is natural to NP. This is natural to NP, but our aim is targeting the CP. So controlling parents instead of trying to control everybody in my best possible way, let me help others. Yeah. Then next is RCCC to FC. To release the free child, increase two steps we have. One is release the past clutter, take assistance. Four steps for this. One is laughter, body movement, nature, creativity. Maybe I will just pause for a moment. After the prayer song, we will continue. Welcome back. Yeah. So we just spoke about how to enhance NP. Enhancing NP is to bring down CP. Now we will see RC is rebellious child, CC is compliant child. How to take that to free child. So to release the free child, release the past clutter, take assistance. What do we mean by assistance here? There are so many psychological tools out there and so many persons dealing with psychology. Take their assistance. There is no harm in that. You need not have depression or anxiety to see a psychologist. You can, for day-to-day living, to live more beautifully, more healthily, more happily, you can definitely consult a psychologist or somebody who is passionate about psychology. Yeah. So how to get this FC, free child? Free child is actually liberation, and that will happen when we release the past baggage. So for that, maybe we can start some activities like this on a regular basis, not just for 1 week or so, for 3 months or so. Every day I will find time to have fun, entertainment. I will laugh. Every day I will move my body. Let it be dance or yoga, whatever. Every day I will find time to be with nature, see the expanded sky, feel the nature, feel the breeze on the exposed areas, feel the warmth of the sunlight. So somehow be with nature. And then creativity. Yeah, creativity is something that will release the free child very, very easily and naturally. Find time for that. Yeah, now the last part, adult activation. Yeah, we said in the beginning that it's good we be in adult activated mode. Why? Because when we are in child mode, it is very difficult to deal with the money issues. It is very difficult to make decisions. Problem solving is also difficult. So being in adult activation mode, when adult is activated, rest all is easy actually. So adult is easily activated by asking questions. Why, when, what, where, how? Easy. And then, yeah, unless and until you deal with money directly on your own, by your own self, earning money is different, handling money is more important. If you are able to handle money well, if you are able to write a financial diary, like every day putting a date, this happened, what is my future plan, that's a good idea to activate the adult. Then delayed response. Yeah, child is quick, impulsive. So adult activation means it has to incorporate delayed response. Practice delaying your response. Even though you know the answer, you're very sure about that. We don't mean answer for the exam or interview. This is in general. In general, try delaying your response. Maybe we will talk in detail about that later. And then think and act. Yeah, we hear always this. Think twice before you act. And then, yeah, that is very important. Maybe all these can be taken as a 21-day challenge or a 3-month-day challenge. Yeah. Question time. Okay. Who plays the victim role? Tick, 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 take your time. Who plays the victim role? Did you get the answer? Who plays the victim role? It is CC, compliant child. See, the head down victim role. Always complaining about sorrow. My life is full of sorrow. Before I had that tragedy, now this, now this, now this. Always in that sad mood. It's very difficult for them to laugh. Even it's not a child, we are talking about the adult who is playing the victim role, means they are stuck in their compliant child ego state. Someone is fault finding. Sorry for the spelling, it is fault finding. Who does that? Who is pointing finger and blaming, fault finding, criticizing, being judgmental? It is a controlling parent. Yeah. The blamer, of course, a controlling parent. Do we need CCRC, CP? Because these have a negative shade. Do we need them? Yes, of course, we need all the 6 ego states because we deal with people who are in different ego states. So we have to have the adult in the lead role using the other 5 as and when required. Who cannot say no? Yeah, who cannot say no? Nurturing parent, overdoing, over responsible, cannot set boundaries, so cannot say no. Also, compliant child cannot say no out of fear. Nurturing parent cannot say no out of the desire to satisfy others, to please others. The child is more likely to be in, compliant child is more likely to be in fearful mode. That is why cannot say no. So liberate the free child. To enjoy life, which ego state is needed? Free child. Positive free child, not negative free child, positive. Who cannot take rest? Nurturing parent. Why? Because I am so responsible that I have to do everything and I end up being exhausted. So take rest, have a great time, and try to evaluate in which ego state are you functioning most of the time. And ideally, what we need is adult ego state. And under the adult, we need the controlling parent, we need the nurturing parent, we need the rebellious child, we need the compliant child, we need the free child, all in positive states. So that's it. Thank you.